You shall pay, Black Prince. I shall place a curse of suffering on you that will doom you to a living hell. A hunger, a wild, gnawing, animal hunger will grow in you. A hunger for human blood. Here you will starve for an eternity, torn by an unquenchable lust. I curse you with my name. You shall be Blacula, a vampire, like myself, a living fiend. You will be doomed.
Blacula was an entertaining spin on an old tale. It's a very stark and independent looking film that's raw in all the right ways. Blacula was directed by William Crane and tells the tale of African Prince Mamuwalde, who visits Count Dracula in Transylvania in order to ask for assistance in stopping the slave trade. However, instead of helping Mamuwalde, Count Dracula places a curse on the African prince and forces him to become a vampire. Count Dracula kills Mamuwalde's wife and seals Mamuwalde away in a coffin deep underneath the Transylvania castle. When the castle is bought by two interior decorators, the two of them find the coffin in the basement of the castle and have it shipped to Los Angeles. Once in Los Angeles, the two interior decorators break open Prince Mamuwalde's coffin, awakening Mamuwalde. Mamuwalde goes on a killing spree, turning his victims into vampires themselves until he meets Tina, played by Vonetta McGee, a woman who he believes to be the reincarnation of his long-lost wife, Luva, from many years ago. Plot-wise, this film is nothing more than a love story with a horror spin. But there are certain hints at deeper thematic elements that make the film's theme much more diverse than it would appear at surface level. For me, the idea of the curse is incredibly symbolic of the racism in America. Count Dracula betraying Mamuwalde and placing the vampiric curse on him can be compared to bondage. Much like the vampiric curse that Dracula forced upon Prince Mamuwalde, the curse of slavery was forced upon the Black American community through trickery as well. In this sense, the curse can be seen as being brought into something unwilling and being forced to adapt to elements that weren't necessarily anything of one's asking. For example, how Black American people had to adapt to life in America, although they didn't ask to be here. The film literally portrays this by transporting Prince Mamuwalde across the sea in a coffin in a ship. But the ramifications of said curse in the form of a hunger also makes one a danger to their own community. The opening title sequence speaks volumes of this theme as well. In this title sequence, we see a bat, Mamuwalde, chasing down the blood in the shape of a woman, Tina. Each time he tries to get close to her, the hunger ends up causing him to kill her by wanting to drink up the blood uncontrollably. The vampiric curse is the rage, anxiety, poverty, and selfishness, and overall toxic learned traits that we developed through interaction with the colonizer. The most apparent comparison is the destruction of the Black family. Prince Mamuwalde is a Black man trying to reunite with his wife through lifetimes. He's forever trapped in a cycle of destruction, which ultimately causes the death of his wife and repeats the cycle. Character-wise, we get a host of Black characters for this story. First and foremost, following the story of an African prince is very empowering. Although Dr. Gordon does play the stereotypical Black detective, the difference between this film and, let's say, Candyman is that at least we get to see Dr. Gordon solve the crime. He's not relegated to having to follow in the shadows of a white lead. I love seeing Dr. Gordon use his swag to get what he needs and outsmart people. And the female leads, Vonetta McGee and Denise Richards, I could have seen them playing any major horror movie protagonist. The film also portrayed a very positive aspect of Black love. However, the inclusion of the two gay characters is both concerning and questionable. I'm watching this film in the age of inclusion, and the way the film handles these characters make me question what the film was trying to say. The judicial use of the word faggot to describe the gay characters was a bit of a reminder of how, in some ways, inclusion had a long way to go. The film is doused with elements of black culture. The soundtrack to the film also gave the film a little extra zest. The scenes where the couples are in the clubs and having a good time gives us a very beautiful glimpse into 70s funk and the talents of black musicians. I felt that the film chose to include an aspect of the culture wherever it could. Ultimately, I truly enjoyed Blacula for what it was. It was a horror movie for black people at the time. This film was one of those raw 70s films where the action was done by hand. But looking back at this film, you see that it is a beautiful capsule for 70s black culture.